Hello world! Warmest welcome to the 51st episode and first anniversary special of World Humanitarian Drive's Inspiring Millions Show. This is the show where we celebrate brilliant minds from around the world who share with us their story, one story at a time. This Inspiring Millions show is proudly presented by World Humanitarian Drive, also known as WHD, an international NGO founded in Croydon, UK, by British Indian global peace activist, entrepreneur, writer, Dr. Abdul Basit Syed. The primary vision of WHD is to promote peace, education, and trade harmony initiatives globally among everyone across the world, regardless of race, gender, religion, nationality, living as one family. WHD is striving for humanity. This Inspiring Millions show is your show. As always, we encourage you to engage and interact with us. Please help us spread inspiration to the world by sharing this link. Let's celebrate the first anniversary of Inspiring Millions Show with the host Viva O'Flynn and our special guest, World Humanitarian Drive's founder chairman, Dr. Abdul Basit Syed. Let's inspire the world here on Inspiring Millions Show. Thank you for joining us live or on replay. I'm Viva Andrada O'Flynn, your host and Global Media Relations of World Humanitarian Drive. Warmest welcome to World Humanitarian Drive's Inspiring Millions Show first anniversary special. And what better way to celebrate our first anniversary than with World Humanitarian Drive's founder chairman, the reason why we have WHD and this show, Inspiring Millions Show, Dr. Abdul Basit Syed. Dr. Syed is a well-recognized social activist and an entrepreneur, a British Indian entrepreneur, property and business consultant, director of Platinum Consultant London Limited, founder chairman of Al Basit Real Estate, vice president at Space Kidz India, vice president at International Diplomatic Club Amicability, steering group committee at Faiths Together in Croydon, International Ambassador For Croydon by Croydon Council, Board of Director of Universal Peace Federation, the founder and chairman of an international NGO, World Humanitarian Drive, chairman of WHD Publishing House. Some of his many awards include International Ambassador of Croydon Mayor, appointed Knight of Malta by the Sovereign Order of OSJ Malta, Ambassador for Peace, awarded by Universal Peace Federation, and has been confirmed as the Board of Directors, Peace Award, BRICS International Alliance, and many more. So let's all welcome a man who strives for humanity through peace, education, and trade harmony, Dr. Abdul Basit Syed.
Hey, Viva, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be welcome in our own show. It's absolutely a delight for me. And thank you for your introduction. Hello, world. Hello, humanitarians. Hello, brothers and sisters of humanity. It's an honor to say hello to you because in this pandemic, we don't know what's happening to this world each day, but I promise you, we at World Humanitarian Drive will keep you energized and inspired each week and each day of our working life to promote our values of peace, education, and trade harmony. Thank you, Viva.
Thank you, Dr. Syed. So welcome and thank you for joining us today. How are you today, Dr. Syed?
As always, fantastic. Thank you, Viva. Thank you so much. It's absolutely a delight, especially I was very energized that I'm going to see all our audience after 1 year of our show. And thanks to you for prepping me up. Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone watching us live, please feel free to put in the comments box your greetings or comments, questions that you would like to ask our guest, Dr. Abdul Basit Syed. We will read them later on in the show. This show also wouldn't be possible without WHD's Director of Global Operations, Ms. Sarah Wilson, guiding us behind the scenes. So let's begin. Dr. Abdul Basit Syed, could you please introduce yourself to the world and share a brief story about you?
All right. So as you introduced me, I'm the founder and chair of World Humanitarian Drive. And how else can I introduce myself? Right. You have said everything about whatever I've done. So let me start with a small story why I was inspired to start World Humanitarian Drive. So there was a lot of things which has happened in my life in terms of humanity, which has inspired me. And one of them is my grandfather. His name is Khotua Mohideen. He was a freedom fighter from India. He has worked a lot for humanity at large, who has actually built who I am today. From his inspirations, I started to work for a lot of blood donation camps from a very early young age, and to start with other things in terms of other portfolios which I want to work for, and especially peace work around the world. I started with a mission to approach the world through the eyes of humanity, and I started to work with various organizations to understand how we can support each other through social and societal causes. And that's where this idea was born, to start an organization which relentlessly works towards this ambition of peace, education, and trade harmony. And when I say peace, education, and trade harmony, because out of all these 20 years of working for society, what I've understood is, if there is a cause which you want to work for, there is always a cost which stands at the point. So we need to cover the cost to work for the cause. So I believe strongly trade harmony, in order to mobilize and strengthen trade harmony, is the right way for us to move forward. So when there is strong trade economical growth, we can work for good finances, which will build good education. When you have good educational background, good education between countries, and harmony and other things can establish towards peace. So that's the primary goals and visions of WHD. And as the founder and chair, my introduction is, I work for WHD on a capacity as the founder and chairman. But saying this is my utmost privilege as a servant of WHD. I do serve humanity. That's my short introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Syed. So you're a global peace activist. What is peace to you?
If you ask me, peace in this world, everybody has their own definition. So peace, it can be defined by different terms and different terminologies according to peoples and individuals. But to put it short, the peace has to be the outmost thing which the world has to celebrate. In fact, the happiness, everybody want to be happy, right? If you ask me, you want to be happy, I want to be happy. But what's going to be the foundation of this happiness? The foundation of happiness is when your mind is at peace, correct? So when your mind is at peace, that's when you will be happy. So how can we penetrate the peace? That's the model we have to work on. So peace means everything to me, to answer your question.
Okay, thank you. And you're also a writer. So could you please tell us more about your book, Redefining Happiness?
Re-engineering happiness.
Re-engineering happiness.
Okay. So this book is a campaign book in terms of working on the model of World Humanitarian Drive's campaign of World Moral Day. So we want to send this message to inspire the world with our ideas and thoughts. So what better way can we do it than giving a book? If you give me the opportunity, I will read the book from morning to night. But the book is the message. You can carry it as a friend, as your foe all the time. So that's why we want to have this campaign book, in order to penetrate the idea into people's mind that you have to re-engineer your happiness. And how do you re-engineer happiness? By promoting the idea of moral values. Morality is the foundation of peace, and peace is the pillar of your happiness. So remember, when we do something, there should be a moral behavior which can give a moral standing towards peace. And when there is peace, there is happiness. So that's why we started this mission to write this book, Re-Engineering Happiness, but it was amazing. I request each and every one of you to read this book to understand what we are working for. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Syed, for telling us about your book, Re-Engineering Happiness. So you're also the Vice President of Space Kidz India. It's an organization for creating young scientists for the nation and spreading awareness among children for a borderless world. So can you please tell us more about Space Kidz India?
That's very exciting. Space Kidz India is an organization started by the CEO, Srimati Kesan, and very iconic lady who wants to promote the idea of science to be integrated into child's and youth's mind. It's a fantastic idea where I'm working as the vice president. So basically, this idea of Space Kidz India is to energize and give the vision of technology as a starting point. Imagine a child of 9 years old or a youth of 16 years old who can make up a satellite. In fact, the company Space Kidz India, where have done so many satellites. I think so far they have done 13 satellites, and out of these 13 satellites, 2 of them are launched by NASA, and we hold the record for the lightest weight satellite. I think it's 56 grams, and Kalamsat is the name. If you Google on your phones, Kalamsat 1 and 2, this was done by Space Kidz India, and I'm proud of the organization Space Kidz India, and I'm honored to be the vice president of the organization. In terms of roles, I try to promote it in terms of on a global stage, whatever support I can do in order to bring the vision, because I do believe for one to be educated is the right way to promote the peace. So the right way to do education is through technology, because today of day and age, technology is the running water of people's life and mind. So that's the reason why I think Space Kidz India is very, very interesting for me, because children needs education, and sky is the limit of discovery which they can find in Space Kidz India. So thank you.
Thank you. That's amazing to know about Space Kidz India. So you're also a business consultant. What would you want to tell businesses trying their best to survive in these COVID times?
That's a company which was started almost 15 plus years ago. The company's name is Platinum Consultant London Limited. We do facilitations in terms of large scale business programs. And as I said to you earlier, when there is a cost, there is a cost which is involved. So this idea of business, we developed it because we want to work for humanity. So we want to earn our living to support our causes. That's the reason why we started with a business. So it's a noble objective, right? So in terms of during this pandemic, if you ask me, I think business survival is a top-rated question, and how they have to survive depends upon how they operate. But I can assure you the world that hope is what we have to do, and plan 1 year ahead. Plan a year ahead so that we can work together in order to make our lives a better way, because we have to always work together. There is no I in a team. So we have to work together as a team. And if it's a sole trader company where it's only one person, but remember, you're not just one person, you're going to be also working with others as company. So remember, always think about others around you so that you can be successful.
That's really good. There's no I in a team. So Dr. Syed, how would you define success?
Again, success depends upon each individual perspective. For me, I would say the personal success I have is my personal satisfaction. So if I'm personally satisfied with the scale of morality which I work for, I believe that I am successful. Some might have their scale on their own depths of understanding, how they want to put it forward. But I do believe the satisfaction of inner self will give you the better success than anything, because personal success is the best success one can achieve.
Dr. Abdul Basit Syed, so you're the founder, chairman of WHD. So could you tell us more about your concept behind World Humanitarian Drive? Could you tell us more about WHD, please?
Yeah. So WHD as an organization started as a partnership organization of Universal Peace Federation. So the idea of WHD is to promote the values which I've described earlier of peace, education, and trade harmony. So the idea started because we want to give the world a better understanding and a better scope of understanding how they can work on their own model. Currently, we are in operations in 12 countries, and these 12 countries are Malaysia, Singapore, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, India, UK, Albania, America, Canada, South Korea. And these are our bases where we tend to work from. And we have 12 excellent Secretary General. I do think they are my family because they work along with me. And we have a great global team, like people like you, Viva, people like Sarah Wilson, who contribute their time and resources for the organization's benefits and to strengthen our mode of operations, how we can help each and every individual. WHD as an organization is trying to build a world where we can work for peace together. Peace means everything, as I said. And as an organization, we are supporting peace activities of other organizations wherever we can. So, safe example, in Malaysia, my good friend, Secretary General Dato GP Duraisamy, a great man who I admire the most. He has got so many visions of peace, which I have, which I love. And one of his friends, our partnership organizations, Dr. Billy Tang, who works from a difficult point of body ailment, but still is working for humanity. He's trying to deliver nutritious food. These are some of the organizations we are working with, okay, like Universal Peace Federation, like Billy Tang's PWD, with other associations and organizations. We are trying to build a team of global organizations working together under one umbrella of promoting the idea of peace, education, and trade harmony. So in a short, WHD stands for a vision of promoting humanity and brotherhood. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Syed. We also have a video about WHD, so let's watch this. know, so WHD has come a long way and will continue striving for humanity, hopefully for many years to come. So now let's just read some of the comments and greetings of our virtual audience. So Happy Andrade is saying happy anniversary, watching from the Philippines. Tongi Grass saying the same. And then Apadu Rao Santeria is saying watching from Sydney in Australia. And then so Lilia is saying watching from the Philippines. Mar Miang is saying hello from the USA. Billy Tang is saying happy anniversary WHD. Greetings from Malaysia. Mar Miang is saying congratulations on your humanitarian work. And Lovely Bandana is saying happy anniversary WHD. Greetings from Bangladesh. Jenny Lin Ngai, she's saying watching from the Philippines, happy anniversary. And Win Wonderful is saying congratulations on your first anniversary and inspirational show. From a great host to her line of guests, success and inspiring stories. This is the kind of show we need in these crucial times, a show that inspires, motivates, and gives encouraging messages. And Hema is saying anniversary cheers WHD, wishing a jubilant year ahead and many more to follow. Girly Villanueva is saying happy anniversary, congratulations. And a lot more. Marlene Hechanova is saying happy anniversary, congratulations. And so is NP Milio. That's so many messages, and there's more to come later on. So Dr. Syed, where do you see WHD in 5 years' time?
Very interesting question. Very productive question, if you ask me. So I'm looking at WHD. Currently, we have globally volunteer spec of 12,000 people in terms of able volunteers who have signed up through our website and portals. I'm really looking towards making this number not only as numbers, but as real profitable force. When I say profitable for the sake of humanity, to make this number at 1 million volunteers for WHD who can work together as brothers and sisters for this idea of promoting peace, education, and trade harmony. So in 5 years' time, WHD is striving towards a goal of 1 million volunteers working for humanity 24/7 from different locations. So of course they will have their own rest, but it's going to be 1 million people from million destinations. So that's the idea.
That's great, Dr. Syed. So how has WHD impacted you, your family, social life, or relationships? So how have you developed as a result of WHD?
Okay, so just to give you a brief background, before this pandemic, my 3 months before the pandemic, I think Sarah would know, I traveled in 3 months' time to 26 countries to promote this idea, how we can, and meeting up with the heads of state and important ministerial people who WHD has worked along with. And in this last 2 years, our hands and legs were tied due to, we were not able to travel, but that's when we decided, okay, if traveling is being obstructed due to nature's revolt, we will work from places where we can. And that's when we started to use the media as an effective platform. And this effective platform is in the form of people like you who inspire the world each week with not only your smile, but your heart's greetings of and vision of smile, to give them the peace message each week. And people like you are a great boon for this organization. And Sarah, Hema, our Honorable Datto, GP Doraisamy, Ratan from Bangladesh, Anandi from America, we have Zanisha from Albania, so we have Janaki from Nepal, all these noble souls working towards the cause. So WHD is a family, and I do hope this family can bring a lot of people smile, like you, Viva. I bet.
Thank you, Dr. Syed. It's also Facebook's 18th anniversary today, and today is also the first anniversary of Inspiring Millions show. So WHD also has a publishing house. Could you please tell us more about it?
WHD's publishing house started with the idea of the Science Bazaar. So there's a lot of inventions which comes along the way from different parts of the world. And these inventions are nurtured in people's mind and soul, and they tend to put it and they tend to show it to the world through the social media. Again, social media happens to have this touch of, without any kind of licenses and patents, someone from any part of the world, they tend to take this idea, produce them in mass numbers, then end up using this idea. So the guy who invented it gets nothing. Okay, so we want to have a platform for these voices. So that's why we developed the idea of the Science Bazaar. So where we're going to make sure these inventions are properly patented, properly financed, properly nurtured, given the mentorship program. So when we developed that idea, then we thought it should be properly recognized with book streams. And when we went to different publishing houses, it took us ages for us to get permission. The money involved is crazy. And imagine a guy who is just coming from a very humble background, from a non-financial background. For him, he will just drop the idea, even to contact the media or through a publishing house. So then we thought, okay, let's work towards making a publishing house which will be equally effective for them to approach easily, and which will be a publishing house who understands humanity at large and who can work for humanity and publish their story. That's why we came up with this idea of invention for humanity. So that's why this publishing house started. And I'm very proud to say a lot of people are approaching us to publish their story for humanity, which we do it with delight. So that's the story of WHD Publishing House.
Thank you for telling us the story behind WHD's publishing house. So for our virtual audience, thank you for your greetings. If you'd like to ask questions, you could also just type in your questions. So WHD is expanding and looking for members. Could you please tell us how to be a member of WHD?
At the moment, how we have designed it is the local Secretary General, he gets the information when people do sign in our portal of their interests. So it's handled by a team of effective tech geeks, I would say, who receives the information and pass it on to the local Secretary Generals. But in future, for the rapid growth, as I said, we are expecting 1 million people to join our organization once this pandemic gets folded, and we can go back to our normal life. So at that point of time, there'll be other social medias and platforms which will be effectively used to promote this idea. So anybody who wants to join the organization, there is a joining membership in our website or through our WhatsApp messages, which comes directly to us. I promise you, we do read them and we do check on each and every one of them, just to make sure that if there is some kind of genuine request which is coming from different parts of the world, and depending upon the cases, we tend to follow it up to make them as our volunteer around the world. That's how we have the count at the moment is 12,000 volunteers globally, even though there might be countries where we are not in operations, but still we have a volunteer base who call themselves proudly as humanitarians or as a member of WHD.
Thank you. So reading more comments from our virtual audience, K. Ravi Shankar is saying, congratulations. Eva Katundi is saying, happy anniversary. Proud to be a new one in the team of WHD. So Dr. Syed, you travel the world as a global peace activist and founder chairman of WHD. Could you please share some of your most favorite experiences from your travels, meetings, conferences, conventions from local to international stages?
Yes, there are many experiences, to be very honest, very experienced. I would say there are a lot of happy experience. At the same time, there are also powerful experiences. which energized me and inspired me to work for humanity. Say, for example, I recently, I think about 3 months ago, I was there in Morocco. I went to the Western Sahara region, and Western Sahara region is tormented by the war for the last 30 years. And there are many people who we had meeting with who have been really affected by the war, of terrorists and other actions. When we spoke to them, some of them, all their teeth have been taken out, their ribs have been removed from them, their family have been tortured, their family, their wife, their children have been removed from them and got made purposefully married to another family. These are the kind of things which they've undergone in this life, okay, and they cannot forget it. And each time when we look and hear a sad story like this, it makes me more committed. It makes me more committed that an organization as WHD is needed in this world to work for peace. So that's one of the other side of the story. This is one of the cases who we work with from different countries and different organizations. Of course, there are other positive stories as well. Say, for example, we had the Trilateral Global Summit in 2019. We had His Excellency, Her Excellency Angelina Tini, the South Sudan Defense Minister, who came to a program, and I was generally giving an introduction to her in the parliament about her and her achievements. And I proudly call her my sister. And then she goes to the stage and she says in front of everyone, I'm very angry because Dr. Abdul Basit Syed said that he calls me a sister for his mission. And I'm very unhappy about that. And then she said he should call me mother. You see, this is a family of federation of love, okay, which we have developed and organized with different countries and different people, from low levels to the higher level, reaching the heads of state. And these people does not expect anything in return except for love, affection, and humanity. So I'm proud to be a humanitarian, and I'm pretty sure each and every one of you who have joined this organization or enjoying the fruits of working as brothers and sisters in this organization. And I do hope that we can all meet up once this pandemic is over on a larger vision of programs in London or anywhere in the world, which I will organize for each and every one of you to come and gather and work as a family and meet each other and greet each other.
Yeah, we just hope that this pandemic will just come to an end. So here are some of the pictures, if you'd like to share some about it. So this is from the Science Bazaar.
Yes, that's from the Science Bazaar event. I always carry my book to present it to dignitaries who have come. And these are the college courses of who came to the Science Bazaar program, who we gave my book, Re-Engineering Happiness, to promote the idea of World Moral Day. Oh, okay. This is one of the groups of my friends from Faiths Together, where I'm also a steering committee board member. So this was taken in the Croydon Council, where I'm also, I was a former ambassador. We tend to work for faiths to interfaith networking and things like that. Yes. That was the presentation of Ambassador for Peace certificate from Secretary General of Universal Peace Federation, very long years back, and I think I'm the board of trustee at the moment. So it's one of the souvenir experience. This was taken in Amsterdam. Thank you. You have so many pictures. This was taken in Amsterdam. So we had a retreat in Amsterdam, and there are different people, I think from 20 countries, coming to gather to promote the idea of humanitarian values. A lot of people are quite versatile in their actions for humanity. It's very powerful. That's my grandfather. He was As I said, he was the former, he was a Indian freedom fighter, and so he worked for humanity. And this was him with the former chief minister of Tamil Nadu, and who happens to be one of the presidents of Indian National Congress, K. Kamaraj, who used to be called as the gentleman of politics. And then there's another gentleman, P. Kakan, who used to be the home minister of Tamil Nadu. That's a very close friend of my grandfather. Where did you get all these pictures from?
From your website and your social media accounts and
Okay,
WHD site.
Oh, thank you. So I think people have, okay, this one is a meeting for the BRICS platform, which we organize. So because I think it's for World Moral Day programs, along with Dr. Sergey, with our BRICS president Purnima Anand, and then IA2 chairman Asif and other people. It was one of the funny moments. This was Stars of COVID. Of course, Viva, you were part of the program, I'm sure. There were two great leaders. One is the first president and former president of Kosovo, who is called as the father of Kosovo, His Excellency Fatima Sachu. And we had the former Prime Minister of Nepal, His Excellency Madhav Kumar Nepal. We had the Nationalist Party President, Pedro Altamirano. We had the International Diplomatic Club President, Dr. Sergey Deverinov. And we had a powerful presentation of awards being presented to a lot of people in this program. It's a very, very, how do we say, inspiring event, very inspiring event. COVID Times of Poetry. That's how Viva came into existence. Lovely. Okay, so COVID Times Poetry is one of my most beloved events because I love poetry as such. We had His Excellency Anthony Carmona, who was the fifth president of Trinidad and Tobago. What we decided was we want to, everybody was stuck in their home for pandemic. We want to make an event for them to inspire the world from their home. And what is better way of doing a social distancing event than to inspire through words? So we called it the COVID Times Poetry. There were thousands of poetry flooding from around the world. And we put a dedicated team of juries who decided the best poems and best recognized poems in the Instagram platforms. And then we had an internal discussion to award them. And this is the ceremony of the award which happened. And I do miss my very good friend Neeraj Bajpai, who is in the top thing. He passed away sadly due to a heart attack, who was the chair of News About News platform, who used to be a very good humanitarian supporting us. And we have the BRICS TV president. We have other noble dignitaries who are part of the event. And Viva was one of the best poems she illustrated, who read the poems in the program, which is amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, this is our Science Bazaar event where we had closer to 20,000 plus participants from India and around neighboring countries of India, where new inventions and new innovations were directed at the bazaar. And this is one of the juries, I think, who were with us in the program, who are trying to certify people who have done a lot of inventions for the betterment of the world. And by the way, the theme of the event was differently able. So we want to give the idea of differently able to support people, to support them in their mind. This was different events of us from different parts of the world. This is from Yemen, from Dubai, from tree planting to doing a lot of goodwill events in terms of launching of our World Moral Day song, which has been unveiled by His Excellency Madhav Kumar Nepal, the former Prime Minister of Nepal. We had an event in terms of poetry way, and there was a marathon event in Dubai, UAE. So these are different events which we did, and each one of them are very close to our hearts. This is our Trilateral Global Summit, one of our best events, I would say. In London, we had different dignitaries coming from 26 countries. from MPs, banking CEOs, from policymakers, from influencers, and from ministerial background to promote the idea of Create for Peace. It's a powerful session, very powerful. Oh, this one is for this year's anniversary event of World Moral Day. We had the celebrations by a cycle marathon. I unveiled, I flagged it off the event in Chennai. I traveled just to get this program going. It was amazing experience. A lot of cyclists who want to promote the idea of green energy with the World Moral Day campaign. It was a fantastic program.
So, Dr. Syed, could you please tell us more about World Moral Day? Why is World Moral Day needed in today's world?
So, as I said, happiness, the pillars of happiness is peace. And what's the foundation of peace is morality. Imagine if you have a moral behavior working for a moral cause, you will be peaceful because there is not going to be a reciprocal of negative mindset coming towards you. And this will make you peaceful. And when you have peace, you'll have happiness. So World Moral Day is a campaign which has been started by me, by WHD, in order to promote this idea. We want the United Nations to recognize 2nd of September as World Moral Day. The reason why we want 2nd of September as World Moral Day is because that's the last day of World War II. Millions and millions of people have lost their lives during the First and Second World War. We don't want another world war which will harm this race of humanity and the animals and the environment and the nature as a whole. So we want the world to think and react. And this platform of World Moral Day is a platform where we want them to have this conscience put in their mind and act accordingly. So the World Moral Day, you can just ask me, oh, so you're saying if the United Nations declare World Moral Day, then all the problems in this world will be solved. No, this is just the first step. So when people think about morality, their mind will think on this day to work for something. Imagine they're going to go to a blood donation camp and donate blood. They can go to an elderly home to support the elderly. They can go to a cancer institute and support them financially. They can promote nutritious food ideas. You know, we live in Western countries where we go and see our grandparents or our parents only on certain days like Christmas or New Year or on their birthdays. But imagine if they go and see them on the World Moral Day and say, oh, well, morally, we have to support each other. So this is what we are trying to bring in on this day. This is a special day for humanity because morality is the foundation of peace, and peace is the pillar of happiness. So that's why I want each and every one of you to support this day, World Moral Day. I think so far there is closer to, I think more than, we have contacted more than 2,000 PhD doctorates from Harvard, Yale, Oxford who have supported these campaigns, and we have received over 1 million signatures from around the world who support this campaign. We have letters from United Nations. I have met personally 55 country heads of state to support this idea. We have contacted the different embassies in the world to support this idea of World Moral Day in United Nations. So this is not just a day of hope. This is going to be a reality very soon. And when you, me, and everyone will join hands together to celebrate this day of World Moral Day, which is going to be the foundation of bringing together humanity for peace and happiness.
World Moral Day on the 2nd of September. So I'm also going to read more of the comments from our virtual audience. Pid Ellis Suryati Omar is saying, happy 1st anniversary. Hema Dorisami is saying, happy anniversary, WHD. Biplop Das is saying, we are really proud of our WHD team. May God help. Ratan Kumar Das is saying greetings from WHD Bangladesh. He's the Secretary General of WHD Bangladesh. Michiko Komichi is saying happy anniversary WHD. And Ermider Quito Besenio is saying greetings from the Philippines. Happy first anniversary WHD. Professor Data Dr. GP Doraisamy, Secretary General of WHD Malaysia, he has a long message. He's saying, Honorable Dr. Abdul Basit Syed, I am thankful and grateful for providing me an international platform to serve humanity in my capacity as the Honorable Secretary General of WHD Malaysia chapter. I never thought that our brief encounter in Seoul, South Korea in early 2019 would bring us this far with so much thrills trials, fun, unity, peace, harmony, solidarity, world recognitions, and appreciations. He has 3 questions for you. Honorable Doctor, please enlighten us all. Our audience is watching live now on your vision and mission of WHD for the next 10 years from now till 2032 and later.
Okay. I believe that because he is one of the board of directors of WHD steering board, and he has energized us enough with his thoughts of actions. So if he wants me to say it openly, yes, I do have the Banton with me now, so which I'm happy to share it. So the vision in the next 5 years, as I said, we are heading towards for 1 million volunteers for WHD. In 10 years time, I'm hoping that we will have an operations, steady operations in at least 60 countries. And once this pandemic is over, we will be having multiple programs in series of different countries and cities in order to promote the ideas of our vision and initiatives which we have installed. And other than that, as an organization, we are trying to secure our financial stability in terms of growth, because growth comes with a certain criteria of financials. So our companies which supports WHD, like our personal company like Platinum Consultant, this will be more strengthening towards WHD's missions and visions. And our mission is going to be promoting the idea of humanity, and our vision is to achieve this in 10 years, as Dr. GP Doraisamy has asked for.
We have another question from Professor Dato. His question is, we understand that you had traveled to many parts of the world to build and establish peace and unity in these troubled countries and areas. Kindly enlighten us as to whether peace is possible in this world, or is it just rhetoric, words by politicians and power mongers who are out to create chaos and disunity?
Yeah, well, I think he's trying to say John's word from Beatles. So you can call me a dreamer. All right. So basically what I can say is peace is not a dream. Peace is not a dream, because peace is everything in this world. So if we are going to work for peace, we have to be only one thing which we have to do all the time, that is being positive. There'll be a lot of things which is going to happen around us and happen to us. So we should never give up. Imagine, can we give up on our family? Can we give up on our parents? Can we give up on anything? So why only peace? You want to give up on the world? The world is a place where you're born into. Of course, you have to live with what is around you, but we have to work. And I'm pretty sure Dr. GP Doraisamy has contributed more than 50 years of his life to work on this mission. I'm pretty sure that he asked me this question just because he wants the world to know that I am studying on this. Doctor, I'm there for you. Or as always, we are working together as brothers and as partners and as humanitarians.
Here's another question from Professor Dato, Dr. GP Doraisamy. How would you deal with peacemaking between race, religious differences, and different political ideologies?
WHD, I think the doctor will agree with me that in terms of WHD, we have 12 global groups of WHD. And WhatsApp group, and there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are in these groups. And when I spoke to doctor, I told them very clearly in these groups, there's one particular restriction: no religion, no politics inside the group. We want to stay away from religion and politics, because each one are entitled to their own opinion, and their opinion does matter to each one of them individually. But if we stay away from religion and politics in terms of discussion, then I think there is a lot of possibility there can be harmony in the group. But to answer the question in terms of how we can have a healthy discussion to make a positive change in the society, I do believe that tolerance is the only way, because we need to be tolerant, because a person without tolerance is going to not only affect others around him, but the one inside him. So I want to emphasize on this word: tolerance is the key for peace, because if you're tolerant with others' opinion, we can penetrate peace in their mind. So let's create this word of tolerance within ourselves.
Tolerance is the key of peace. Here's another question of Professor Dato, Dr. Chipi Dorisami. He's asking, dear doctor, could you please enlighten us on your good relationship with a member of parliament and the royal family of England, UK?
So there are a lot of friends of mine who are the current diplomats, who are ministers, and from the royal families from around the world. And one of them is the former wife, the Duchess Sarah Ferguson, or the former wife of Prince Andrew, who is currently working relentlessly to support humanity. She has written multiple books. And when I was speaking to her in the Royal Lodge in London, in Buckingham, near the Windsor Castle, she told me, when I was speaking to her one-to-one on a very friendly note, I told her about the visions of WHD. And whenever I say something, she generally points her fingers up. So I asked the Duchess, Royal Highness Duchess, why are you pointing fingers each time up? She generally points to God. She says, everything depends on him. Okay, doesn't matter if it's a royal family, doesn't matter if it's a commoner, but it all depends upon his message. But so then I said to her, if you're pointing up, then he's pointing down. The meaning to say is, if we are pointing towards God, God says, pointing at us, all right, I've given the world to you, keep it safe. So it's in our hands to keep it safe and to influence the message of humanity to others. So I think I've answered your question. One of the important, I have many of them, but just straightforward, this is one of the messages which I had from a conversation with the British royal family.
Thank you also to Professor Dato for his questions. And then just reading more comments from our virtual audience. Well, the ones greeting us, happy anniversary, are Christine Manlapas, Rabiul Alam Rabi, Lalit Sharma, MD Firoz Alam Suman, Mitali Karmakar, Win Wonderful, MD Firoz Alam Suman, Majib Manjil. Okay, so Dr. Abdul Basit Syed, today is the first anniversary of Inspiring Millions Show. So what inspired you to come up with Inspiring Millions Show?
Your poetry. We can say your poetry, right? Okay, so the Inspiring Millions Show is a show which we want to take it to each and every household. We want them to have an inspiration on a weekly basis. As I said, we have this COVID pandemic. When we had this COVID pandemic, many of these people who we spoke to or saying to us that the hopelessness was taking their course of action. They were worried. They were generally given up on their families, given up on their lives, given up on the leaders. So we thought there should be some kind of action. That's how COVID Times Poetry came into action. So when it came to COVID Times Poetry, we thought, why don't we have this ongoing dialogue Why can't we inspire the world each week where people can come as a family and listen to the powerful journey of each individual? Can it be a commoner? Can it be a leader? So listen to their ideas, listen to their tips, how they can raise up for the occasion, because each journey covers each mile, and each mile tells a different story, and each different story has a power and passion, and each power and passion will lead you to enlightenment. So that enlightenment is what I'm trying to give through the Inspiring Million show. And people like you who support the show have, I'm pretty sure, had the tolerance and the capability and the compassionate grounds to produce your time and resources towards the show. And that's where the success of the show is built.
Thank you. Reading more comments from our virtual audience. Happy Andrade is saying Viva's poetry is really inspiring. And Win is saying inspiring show. So this is our 51st episode of Inspiring Million Show. Dr. Syed, there's so many episodes to look back on. So what are your top 3 episodes of Inspiring Million Show?
Okay. If you ask me the question, I really, I would say I would not differentiate. A mother will not differentiate between her children. The similar way, this is our child. So this is the child of World Humanitarian Drive, and we are a family. I don't have differentiation between the show, which is the best, which is the thing. Each one have conveyed a message of unity, of inspirations, of morality, of so many good things. So I don't have a differentiation. But if you do ask me, I would say everyone individual came up with a mission, and the mission is to accomplish love, peace, and hope. I think that's been delivered.
Okay, so there's no top. Every episode is top for you.
If you ask me, if you really want to ask me this question, then I would say, all right, we can give the cup to host Viva because she's the best. We can say that.
All of our guests are really brilliant, and then they've shared so many with us. And so we're so lucky to have had them on our show. So Dr. Syed, we always ask this question to our guests. What is your inspiring message to the world?
It's written on my book, Re-Engineering Happiness, as a tagline. A way of life begins with you. This is my message to the world. A way of life begins with you. So each and every one of you, remember, a way of life begins with you.
A way of life begins with you. Thank you so much for that. And then we have another greeting from MD Tanbirul Islam Mohsin. He's saying happy anniversary.
Thank you. It's from Bangladesh, right?
Yeah, I think so. So thank you so much for honoring us with your presence, words of wisdom, and inspiring the world with your story. And thank you for all your humanitarian works. And here's to many more. So we would like to share a quotation by our special guest, Dr. Abdul Basit Syed. And I'm just going to share this quote. And then could you read it, please, for us?
True happiness comes from giving, not taking. Happiness and peace comes from giving love, care, kindness, hope, support to one another.
Thank you so much. That's from your book as well.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom with us. So do you have a message to all our virtual audience, those who have supported us?
Well, first thing is, I want to say thank you to you, Viva, for putting up with us for the last 1 year. And I'm pretty sure that we have many, many years to grow as an organization, as a show. Okay, and I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of powerful people who will be joining the show in this coming years together. And the message which I want to say to our brothers and sisters who are listening to the show is support the world. Because remember, when you support the world, you're supporting yourself. So let's work as brothers and sisters to support the world. Let's join the cause of World Humanitarian Drive, which is to build peace, education, and trade harmony in this world, where each and every one of us can enjoy a new birth towards the path of wisdom, which can enlighten everyone towards peace and happiness. Let's be happy by joining World Humanitarian Drive.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Basit Syed. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion with Dr. Abdul Basit Syed, that it motivated you to bring peace, love, unity, and harmony to the world in your own way. We are living in dark times. We have to be the light. Let's channel the admirable traits we see from others and apply them to ourselves. Let us find the best within ourselves and share it with the world. The world needs us to awaken to our greatness, to not cower in challenges, but to courageously face them and persevere in living our best lives. You have the right to live life the way you choose. Stand up for what you believe in. Use your 5 senses and have common sense. Let us be courageous in speaking our truth. Remember that fear divides, love unites us all. Here on Inspiring Millions Show, we present you with brilliant people from around the world, so feel free to connect with them on social media. And together, let's make a difference in the world. We definitely all need inspiration, especially in these times. Listening to people's stories enrich our lives. If today's discussion inspired you, please like it, share it, send us a comment. Do share with us your takeaways from today. Follow us on our social media accounts. Click subscribe on our YouTube channel, WHD Media. Visit our WHD website, www.whd.org.uk for more inspiring events. Everyone, let's get active and healthy. These are times we should strengthen our bodies, minds, emotions, and our faith. Please remember to have compassion, be kind to yourself, others, and our planet. To our frontliners, we salute you. We thank you for your hard work, sacrifices, and dedication to humanity. Thank you to World Humanitarian Drive for giving me this opportunity to host Inspiring Millions Show, from winning WHD's COVID Times Poetry Competition, hosting online conferences, to hosting Inspiring Millions Show for a year now. Thank you for all the support. Thank you to our wonderful supporters, our virtual audience. We look forward to bringing you many more brilliant people from around the world who will share with us their inspiring stories. WHD would like to greet all those celebrating their birthdays and all those celebrating their special milestones this week. Happy celebrations, Kung Hei Pat Choy, to our Chinese family and friends. Have a wonderful weekend, and it's our anniversary special, so let's do this. Whoa! Happy anniversary. On behalf of WHD team, especially those working behind the scenes, WHD Chairman Dr. Abdul Basit Syed, WHD Director of Global Operations, Ms. Sarah Wilson, WHD's 12 Honorable Secretary Generals, we thank you, our virtual audience from around the world, for joining us and supporting our show. This has been World Humanitarian Drive's Inspiring Millions Show. I'm Viva Andrade O'Flynn. Please join us again next week. We will have an interesting discussion with Datuk Muhanadas Nagapan of Malaysia as we inspire the world here on Inspiring Millions Show.